From coast to coast, the FORL Cup Series has traveled west as the second race in Season 3 is getting ready to get on its way. Sonoma, California, Sonoma Raceway, let's get this thing started. It is the lasting moments, 88.8, and 8 minutes remain right now in our qualifying session. 8 minutes and 8 seconds now, counting further down. Jacob Wilkerson is your defending winner heading into tonight's event. 43 machine for STP, looking to go for 2 victories in a row, much like the winner of last season's Daytona race, Andrew Cootie, as we get this thing on our way. Great to have all our viewers. As always, I'm your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz. Great to have you alongside me as we get this thing on our way. 7 minutes and time is running out. 2 hot laps are going to be put down by each and every driver, and those are the laps that are going to tell the tale here in qualifying. Wilkerson going to slip and slide that time around. No driver has a time lap in the book just yet. He'll come down to the hairpin going at a speed of just over 40 miles an hour. 42 he gets down to, then puts the power back on his way. He's got over 25 drivers to compete against tonight. Many different drivers, different backgrounds, and different levels of ability in a road course. We're sure to see a great race. Michael Cormenis soars to the top of the board. Cormenis, podium sitter last time we went road course racing at the Circuit of the Americas last season. Joe Reinhardt now going to be scored in second, and Jay Becker, the substitute for Alex Jones 2 weeks in a row, now goes up to second himself. Every driver taking a crack at the top of the board. 6 drivers with a time right now, going back to Henry Kaloff and now James Bomar. More and more enter the list. We've got a great group of drivers slowly but surely making their way on. Looks like 29 have registered for this race. Dylan Poss going to be on the move in the Dodge Mopar number 12. Dustin Pickle not too far behind. It's Andrew Cootie, though, who's making headlines in his Golden State Warriors number 9 machine. California dreaming. He's got a California paint scheme to go for it. He was your defending winner from the Daytona 250 last season, and also defending winner of the second race of the season. This is the second race, different track. There's a chance he can still defend that. Comes into the night second in points for the number 9 machine. Has a chance to regain that top spot if he outruns Jacob Wilkerson and keeps the remainder of his championship adversaries at bay as the night goes on. Nevertheless, the number 9 machine has some big competition and big shoes to fill for James Thurston as he comes back for the second season of his competition full-time in the FORL Cup Series. He's already shown he's one of the strongest competitors week in, week out. Final 4 driver last year for the number 4. New brand, new team. He's looking to get it done this time for his first win of the season, and he's been a road course ace before. There's no telling how far he can go. He was in a fierce battle last season with Andrew Cootie at the Circuit of the Americas, and that was the second race of the season. Maybe it all plays out the same. It's going to be Jacob Wilkerson qualifying third, and Cootie's going to be scored second, but James Thurston at the end of his qualifying run will go all the way up to the top of the board by 0.7 of a second. Phenomenal lap by James Thurston. That's a 1:15.537 faster by almost a second flat compared to the rest of the field. Maximilian, defending champion, going to put it into 8th for now. He'll take it all the way up to position number 4. Going to get right in between Cootie and Jacob Wilkerson. That's the number 45 machine. New paint scheme for the Jim Beam machine there indeed. Noah Taylor right now going to be in pit road in 12th. Chance Parker, same song, different verse. Right now, Kyle Freeman goes for a vicious flip, and he's in trouble. Think the motor blue. Xander Prestige going to be on the way in the number 1 machine for Spice Designs. Brand new look there. A lot of drivers bringing out some different paint schemes. A West Coast flair. Different artistic influences, and it all looks good so far. New drivers coming along in the same vein. Anthony Trippi's got a new scheme. It's the Prime Energy number 84. Trippy, a competitor last season, looking to bring it together with a brand new number. This is his first time in the league running the number 84. Maybe this will be an omen of things to come in a good way. This is his first lap out on the track, trying to bring it in closer to the guys who have taken times. 19 laps have been set already. Going back to Dustin Pickle, 7 seconds off the board. Michael Deitch now going to be on his way, and Joey Stone is as well. However, he's on pit road, so it looks like his first lap didn't go all too well. Michael Deitch, nevertheless, going to be on the way for the Hendrick Cars machine, and they'll take it all the way through another lap, not without an incident. Deitch going to be in a bit of trouble, and he gets caught on the gravel, the grass, whatever you call it here in Sonoma, it is a much different look. The grass is not always greener on the other side. That's the case here in Sonoma. Much different, and it's only green in the springtime months. Beautiful as always, Sonoma, California is. These drivers know on iRacing, getting off the track is like being on ice. No control if you lose it at all, so Deitch has lost the lap. He'll have to regroup, reset his mindset, and go for it once again. Nevertheless, 3 minutes remaining here on the board, and many drivers have not gone out, so we'll be sure this is our final qualifying lineup in about 25 seconds, and when we are, we'll get to you the official starting grid for tonight's event. The 57 going back and forth, corner after corner, using the historic layout tonight. The S's as iconic as ever, and drivers can use them to their fullest. And we'll see whether or not these guys get aggressive early. 40 laps, we don't expect to see a yellow flag. But however, it seems like these guys are struggling. Maybe they'll get a break or two as the day goes on. 2 minutes and 27 seconds remain, and very few drivers are out on the track right now. So with that in mind, qualifying all but set, we're going to get you your starting grid a bit early, making sure we've got time to go over your grid, as many drivers are still waiting for qualifying to end. A few guys going to stick to the back of the field, wait for the race to get on its way. They don't want to get involved in the mid-pack shenanigans. Stay in the back, avoid the wreck, you'll be fine. That's another way to do it. These drivers might choose to do so. We'll see as the 57 remains on your screen. Without further ado, though, let's get right to it. This is your starting grid for the 40-lap dash in Sonoma, California. The lasting moments, 88.8. It's going to be led off by James Thurston with a 115.537. Right next to him, getting Michael Cormetis in position number 2. 116.319 for him, and Andrew Judy going to be position number 3 with a 116.485. Thurston, absolute masterclass there, the only driver in the 115 bracket. Then we'll see Max Molina with a 116.647. Breaking up Sean Rowan. Cootie going to be finding himself there in the 5th spot. 116, it's going to be for Sean Rowe, my apologies. 116.967. Position number 6 goes to Jacob Wilkerson with a 117.551, and Jay Becker subbing for Alex Jones, going to be scored in 7th. Then going to be Ross Corlett, position number 8, second of the CCH Motorsport guys in the top 10. Wesley Kusnoff in his, of course, first start, a debut. The 02 puts it in 9th with a 118.243. Then 10th, Joe Reinhart with a 119.110. A Season 1 original going to be up there in the top 10. Henry Kaloff going to be 11th with a 119.179. James Bomar going to be in 12th there with a 120.024. And Noah Taylor just a 10th behind is scored in 13th. Number 41 machine right there with a 120.110. Dylan Poss going to be 14th, 122.80. Top 15 going to be rounded out there by Chance Parker with a 127.25, and then Brandon Rismiller, first man out the 120 range, 16th, 121.131. Then from there, we've got ourselves going to the 17th spot. Going to be Joseph Lewis with that number 28. It's going to be a 121.256 for him. Xander Prestige has a 122.393 to put him in 18th. Michael Deitch going to be 19th, and it's going to be Dustin Pickle rounding out your top 20. And going from there, no other drivers a time lap 20 times, and then we've got ourselves 9 more drivers. Let's get right through it. Hunter Bogdan going to be scored in a, looks like, the 21st spot, or is he? It's going to be Kyle Freeman, 21st. Hunter Bogdan, 22nd. Robert LaPierre going to be there in 23rd, the number 23. Michael Gregory, 24th. Justin Mont, 25th. Joey Stone, 26th. Connor Zola, 27th. Then going to be Matthew Brower moved up into the 29th spot, and Anthony Trippi in the number 84 machine going to be scored as your 29th and final man. That is your starting grid for the lasting moments, 88.8. We've got ourselves a full grid, and they are ready to get this one on its way. As you can see, Sonoma, California, grandstands are packed. This road course is getting ready to rumble, and 40 full-on laps, no interruptions unless we see chaos at the start. We should be good, and good for a great show indeed. All these drivers hoping to bring the best as they go battling here in California. Jacob Wilkerson, only man locked into the playoffs at the moment. He was our winner at Daytona, so he's locked in for the time being. Number 43, a rookie, is a winner already. The veterans might come into play tonight and make themselves known threats. Let's look up front. Michael Cormenis, and now James Thurston. Top two guys, your front row is set, and they're getting ready to go at it. I'll tell you this much, James Thurston is an exciting driver on every road course he gets on. That number 4 machine right now going to be on your screen for Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports. He has been always a threat on this channel for a victory at a road course. The IORA Indycar Series, the IORA Formula 1 Series, IORA's Cup Series, the FORL Cup Series, wherever this man goes, he's always a threat for victory lane, and I think tonight's going to stay the same. How about Michael Cormenis, though? In that number 25, Cormenis looking to make himself a known competitor and contender. I think he's got a good shot. He's been consistent in FORL's road course races. Now, there's a chance to prove he is one of the best regardless of anything preconceived. This could be a turning point for him as the number 25 gets ready for the iRacing official pace car to get on its way. We've got one pace lap, and then the racing gets on the way. And right up at the front of your screen, that's James Thurston in the number 4. Of course, as we mentioned, Michael Cormenis going to be scored in second, but Andrew Cootie, look back at him. He's there in third. He's your defending Daytona 250 winner coming into the season. Not going to be able to defend it. He was not able to make the race. However, second in points, his sub and Jackson Carr did a phenomenal job wheeling that machine to the end. The number 9's got a good chance to go all the way tonight. If someone makes a mistake in front of him, it could fall in his favor. That's one of the big keys to these road course races. Your raw speed won't win you the race. It's a fact. It just seems to be the way things have gone in this league. You can be the fastest man by a long shot. Look at James Thurston. He's up by 0.7 of a second going into this race. That's an incredible qualifying deficit. However, it doesn't mean all too much if he makes a mistake. I talked to him before this race got started. He said his big thing right now is worrying about the consistency in his number 4. He felt he's not consistent enough to even make it throughout the entirety of the race. However, we know James Thurston, sometimes where his mouth is might not be where that machine is. That number 4 can carry itself to brand new places. I think he's got something good for us here tonight. Something that we did not quite expect out of that number 4 last season. Brand new look for him. He's got a lot of brand new competitors to go against, and he now wants to prove he is the best of all of them. The iRacing official pace car is going to dive in this time by. It's the number 4 on the high side, Michael Cormenis, right down low. Double foul to get this one going. The green flag will drop this time by. Let's get at it here in Sonoma, California. The lasting moments, 88.8. We'll see Barney the flagman wave the green. We're underway here in California. Let's go racing in Sonoma. And it's a good start, all things considered, for James Thurston. As we mentioned, it's going to be not too far behind Michael Cormenis, then Sean Rowe third, followed by him going to be Andrew Cootie, position number 4. Looking further on throughout the field, here's the number 23, Robert Lapierre, debuting himself. He's another substitution driver. Keep an eye out for him. Brand new driver on the scene. Love to see these guys coming in for the first time, making their way in. And first lap, we've got all these guys going through the S's in succession. Looking good so far. Most of the field is still clean, so we should be in for a good show. Up in front, James Thurston going to lead him to the line, not too far behind. The battle is for second. Cootie going to be able to regain third. Michael Cormenis hangs tough there just inside the podium. Lap 1's concluded. Let's go on to lap number 2. It's James Thurston leading and getting a bit squirrely that time around as well. Number 4's got himself a gap, not too far behind that beautiful number 25. Coca-Cola dreaming. He'd like to buy the world a Coke. Let's see if he can get in the victory lane first. It's Andrew Cootie, though, who stays in the podium. And now the Sean Rowe, number 99, with a new look we did not mention. Looking over all our paint schemes tonight, this is one of those that I'd love to look at. Peak Antifreeze has a history with iRacing. For all our viewers, sometimes we just like to go in depth with iRacing history. Here's the time. Before the Coca-Cola iRacing series, ironically, the Coca-Cola machine now chases second. Does he get it? Oh boy, they're going to go 3 wide. Andrew Cootie, what a move. He now is going to be able to take that second spot. Sean Rowe gains third. Wow, the Coca-Cola machine fades back, and as we were mentioning before the Coca-Cola series, the eNASCAR Pro Tour for NASCAR used to be called the eNASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series. Before the big money, before the $300,000, it was the days of Ray Alfala dominating, the 4-time champ, and right now it's going to be going to the side-by-side maneuver. Sean Rowe puts a bumper to Andrew Cootie. Double file once again. Andrew's got himself a handful, but he breaks away for now. Looks like they're going to stay calmer. Andrew Cootie, my oh my, he really put it on that number 25, so Sean Rowe gonna try to give him a taste of his own medicine there. Does not work, at least for the time being. Looking back, what about it we've got here? Joey Stone in 19th, and Joey, ever the fan favorite, finds himself battling the number 56. That paint scheme in real life won a NASCAR Cup Series race at Sonoma. Martin Truex, 2013. Now, we'd have to mention this one. Joey Stone's a fan favorite. This number 8, driving right now in his Chevy Camaro, brand new look for a reason. He's now a streamer on the Kick platform, an up-and-coming service, not all too different from a place like YouTube or Twitch. However, it's a much different landscape, and he's trying to be a pioneer in there. The 56 is in trouble, my oh my. That's Michael Gregory. Take a look on back. He saves it. He keeps it going. Joey Stone, right now in 17th, finds himself in a good battle. He is in a very good setting for him to learn more about these drivers, keep it calm, keep it collected, and eventually become one of those guys up in front. He had a top 10 run going last week, or rather last time we were racing at Daytona, and he's shown that he's got the will of a driver who will compete very well in this league. Dedicated to his craft, he streams. He was a former eNASCAR Heat driver back in his day in the pre-pandemic era of esports. However, now he's found himself an iRacing man, and he finds himself right now in the 17th spot. Joey Stone on Kick. If the viewers of his stream are watching now, well, tell him Fireball shouted him out. Looking up front, Joseph Lewis is going to be in 16th, and Season 1 champion Kyle Freeman running serviceably in that number 29. Freeman, at the age of 12, I believe, is the youngest driver in this field, and running pretty well to go with it. And that's the thing about iRacing, leveling the playing field for ages. He's the youngest guy in this field. He's younger than I am. He's younger than, I'd say, guys who are young for, of course, real racing. Say a guy like Nathan Lyons. We've seen him on this channel. He's part of the Rev Racing development campaign. Very few drivers find themselves in such a position as Kyle Freeman, and he's now going to see another battle begin. It's Justin Mons and James Bomar. Mons goes down to the inside line. It's going to be James Bomar holding tough, though, in the Thompson number 20, and he'll keep himself in position for the time being. Not going to be passed just yet, and he's now trying to chase down Dylan Pass in the number 12. Pass loses a lot of time that time by. I think Bomar's got a shot at him, and he's going to take it. They'll be door to door, but the 12 lets him by. Nice, respectful racing. We've got ourselves a new man in position number 11 as Dylan Boss is fading just a bit further. Now the 49 gets by from McConey's setup shop, and Joe Reinhardt makes his way to 9th. And Joe Reinhardt, this is his first full-time season since the very beginning. Season 1 was the last time we saw this man compete fully. Oh, and as we speak of him, he's going to go in. Big-time hit for Joe Reinhardt, and that's going to drop him outside the top 10. Heartbreaker there, number 78. Now finds himself outside of your top 10 bunch. Minor damage maybe, but he's going to get past big. Another pack takes him in. Henry Kaloff stays in 9th there. Just looks like he got a bit squirrely and bottomed out over the first few turns. Now the Van Dyke number 63 makes his way in. He's chasing down Wesley Kusnoff, who appears to be maybe FORL's very first road course ringer as a substitute. Ethan Stanley ran very early in this league's history. However, he was an independent driver racing for a championship who just happened to join the season late and become the dominating force. He was on fire in Season 1, but we all know him as a road course ringer, and he won a big race last night on the IDK Player YouTube channel, Chicago Street Race. It was a hard battle between himself and Daniel Mosteller. He was the one who got it done. Now it looks like the 0-2 gets passed by Kaloff. Henry gets himself another spot, but Wesley, in his brand new ride, the 0-2, looking real good right now. A substitution for the Foxville Logistics machine, rookie Stripes, he's having a veterans race. James Bomar's going to be into trouble, and it's one man who's going to be spinning, and it is going to be Justin Mons. Mons now back on the way, goes through the infield, luckily gets himself back corrected and collected. Michael Gregory makes it by for 17th. Just like that, Joe Reinhardt fading back, but he's got a chance to gain. So does Chance Parker, and the back of the field is in trouble. Deitch is 3 laps down, Hunter Bogdan is 4, and now Brandon Rismiller is a lap down as well. So the back of the field finding themselves in a bit of trouble. Your guys up front, though, still working well. That number 91 for Rodcar, 16th spot at the moment. This is Ross Corlett looking good right now. His teammates are up in front battling for the win, but he's here in the middle of the pack just working it out. Got a lot of time. You don't want to be too aggressive as Joey Stone locks up the tire. That's one thing you got to keep an eye out for, the tires tonight. We don't anticipate to see any yellow flags throughout this race. So with that in mind, we might just see a little bit of strategy that these guys don't want to think about just yet, trying to build that advantage over their competitors, and it looks like one advantage is going to fall. That's the 28 machine. Joseph Lewis, GameStop, finds himself to a stop, and now back on the move. No incident, he'll keep it going. Luckily, he's back on his way in that Ford Mustang. However, it looks like maybe there's some damage on that suspension. We'll find out as he gets one lap in it, gets the heat back on. And looking back up front, James Bomar going to be in 10th right now, 9 seconds off your leading driver. The field is scattered, and right now up front, James Thurston leads by commanding 4-second margin over Andrew Cootie and Sean Rowe. Thurston, 7 laps in, I'll tell you this much, he is looking very good, maybe to go all the way. Just can't promise anything so far. There's a lot of time to determine whether or not he'll be the winner at the end of day. He gets almost up to the wall there. He's using every inch. I'll tell you this much, the number 4 already experiencing some lap traffic. How about we take a lap on board and show you what's going on with that number 4 machine and Power Smash Infinity Speed. As he goes through into the first turn, comes by the start-finish line, gets so close to the concrete barriers. That's what you gotta do when you're racing on the edge. Last time by, that was his best lap, a 1:15.681. He is getting quicker every time around. He might be a little slower this time by, as the 21, he has to dodge out the way of. Good maneuver there, forward thinking. Now he's got another lap machine between himself and the rest of the field. Goes through, almost on the grass. You gotta time the exit right here. Those little strips, which are of course those curbs, they can get you. Luckily for Thurston, they don't. Get a good run off the apex here, and the S's are filled with momentum. Take a look at the handwork here for James Thurston. And repeating that back and forth, left and right motion, you gotta repeat it to perfection. And that's what he does once again. Dust on the tire, no big deal. Thurston's back on his way with yet another competitive lap time. 3.6 second gap, not too far behind is the burgeoning Andrew Cootie. And then you see Sean Rowe, and right in his focus is Michael Cormenis. Michael is still chasing him down. Let's see what this Cormenis kid's got in store. 25 takes it through corner after corner. He started in the 2nd spot, so he has lost 2 positions. However, he has not lost them to weak competition by any means. Sean Rowe and Andrew Cootie, always competitors in this league up in front. And for Mikey's first start of the season, it's not a bad way to put yourself in the conversation. Right now, he'll keep himself in touching distance. He still does have a 6-second edge over the man in 5th. And that man is Max Molina, no slouch in his own right. Max Molina, your defending champion, finds himself in 5th, right in front of Jacob Wilkerson, and the championship battle is already brewing. Cootie would be your regular season point standing leader at the end of this race if all stays the same. James Thurston is set to get the win, of course, 9 laps in. That doesn't mean all too much, but even if he does get that checkered flag, Cootie would outperform that number 43 machine by enough position to get back on top. I'll tell you this much, though, Jacob Wilkerson already putting in a fierce run for Rookie of the Year. This number 43 for TRD, now looking to be a top contender in his first few races. Winning at Daytona, it's shades of Austin Cindric last season in the Daytona 500. Get the pressure off your back and go for a championship hunt. However, for Austin Cindric, admittedly, things did not pan out as a championship contender. For the 43, This is iRacing. It can pan out much easier as long as he stays solid and consistent. He is a threat for the PBR team, and they are the big team in this league, so he's got support and he's got the will to do it. I think he's got a shot to stay in contention all year long. 10 laps through, James Thurston has a shot to go all the way. It's been a dead even 3.6 second gap between himself and Cootie as he now begins to navigate through traffic, namely now Brody Tolstaika. And that's a beautiful chrome number for that number 4, and it really shines when we go through those close-up angles here on TrackCams22.com's best cameras for their service. We'll get to more about our track cam provider as the night goes on, but you can see all the fine details and maneuvering past these lap guys, and that's Kyle Freeman. So Freeman right now is scored in the 20th spot. He's going to let the number 4 by that time around and get right within his draft. Michael Deitch going to be soared by as Andrew Cootie passes 2 at once. One man goes in. That's trouble for the number 1. Looks to be the Xander Prestige machine. Sanders down and in. However, Cootie is not down and out. Loses half a second though that time by. Looks like he's going to get the short end of the stick navigating through your lappers as he gets back on the power. James Thurston leads the way, and he's got himself a convincing margin as we continue to race. Taking a look on back, Jacob Wilkerson gets shuffled that time through. The lap machines might have got to him. Jay Becker now going to be there, scored in 6. And how about this for the 045 machine? Once again, racing for Alex Jones. The Ford Mustang machine has been a surprise contender throughout the early portions of tonight's race. I'll give this man this much. He does not let the expectations get to him. This 045, I'm not sure if anyone was predicting it to be a top 10 drive so far. It looks like it just might be. 19 seconds behind your leader, but notably far ahead of the battle just outside of your top 10. Ross Corlett, 0.6 of a second ahead of the Joey Stone machine. He's trying to get a kick out of his engine right now. The number 8 chasing down yet another top 10 drive. It's 2 beautiful green machines going at it 11 laps into your green flag run. Chevy's up in front, but it's a Ford who still leads the way. He gets by Trippy and Bogdan that time by. Hunter Bogdan scored in 29th right now. It looks like Joe Reinhart retired 5 laps ago. James Bomar did 2 laps prior as well. So 2 retirees as we speak. Nevertheless, over 25 drivers still racing here at Sonoma. Andrew Cootie goes around the wide way. Bogdan going to give him the best line through the second turn. And it's such a troubling situation to be in for these drivers. Michael Gregory lost a bit of time. That's why we're checking on the number 56. It's a troubling time for every driver when they hit those first few lap machines. As always, Sean Rowe looks to get by Bogdan. Bogdan's in the grass. He'll let multiple go by right now. Michael Cormetis and Sean Rowe might be having the worst time of it. They are actively battling each other right now in the middle of a war zone, so to speak, with all these lap guys in the mist. That takes a lot of energy out of you as a driver mentally, but also it could burn up your tire. It could use a bit more power than you like, and it looks like Sean Rowe just disconnected off our end. Not quite sure what's going on here. Michael Cormetis has scored as 3rd for a moment. Looks like Sean Rowe's still good. We've seen that out of Sean so far this season. Looks like it happened once again. Hopefully, that's not a trend. Anthony Trippi going to be in the wall that time by. He'll go down to pit road, let the drivers up front get right by him. No trouble, but Cormetis faces trouble nonetheless. He'll go way off the apex and find himself a few tenths off where he'd like to be. James Thurston putting on the clinic so far. He's up in front, 5 seconds ahead of your man in second and Andrew Cootie. Rest of your field is still battling thick, and it looks like the closest battle in the racing circuit. It's now going to be for position number 4. It is still Michael Cormetis and Sean Rowe, but looking further from there, still a lot of drivers in close contention. How is about Jacob Wilkerson? And it looks like Henry Kaloff is 14 seconds back, but Jay Becker certainly is not. Becker's been able to break away just a bit, but he gets in the gravel that time around. James Thurston is in a bit of trouble that time by. James Thurston is destroyed. James Thurston sees a suspension go, and just like that, his race might just be over. Oh boy, this is not what we expected at all. The number 4 has lost his suspension, and Andrew Cootie wrecks. Cootie wrecks, and just like that, we've got ourselves a yellow flag. The leaders go around, both of which within the 30-second time frame, and the yellow flag will fall. And this is the end of James Thurston's race. And it might be the end of Andrew Coody's charge up front. Instant replay on FTN. Let's take a look at what just happened. Michael Gregory involved with Thurston. Take it 20 seconds further and take a deeper look. Now you can see this is the number 4 of Thurston taking a further off drone shot, and maybe we'll get all the information. And Thurston right now backing it in corner after corner, looking nice. Gregory gonna go right back into the number 4, and that takes him out. Lap machine gets him, and then Andrew Coody comes into play as well. Coody tries to go down below Thurston. Thurston gives him no issue. However, the number 42 of Chance Parker up in front, maybe that's where the problem lies. And it looks like that it is, just no awareness there, and the number 9 of Coody spins out and gets tapped. Not as bad for Andrew Coody, but nevertheless, very bad as he slides off the circuit. We've got ourselves an unexpected yellow flag. 14 laps in. James Thurston on pit road, and that might be his night. Sean Rowe is now your new race leader. I'll tell you this much, Bryce Hamrick, that's a surprising sequence for certain. 14 laps, and we'd seen us go lap after lap, no trouble. It looked like clean racing all throughout. Now we're losing drivers more and more. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 minimum have retired, and James Thurston might be up there on that list. That is, of course, the worst case scenario. Maybe he'll keep driving as Andrew Coody looks to put himself back on the top spot. He's right beside the pace car. Certainly not happy. And your first yellow flag has fallen. Fans of the FTN YouTube channel and fans of the FORL Cup Series alike, you're watching tonight the lasting moments 88.8, and it looks like this moment might last in the minds of James Thurston and Andrew Coody. Chance Parker involved with Coody. It was the number 42 there with the 9, and then Michael Gregory making contact with James Thurston. Those two bring out the yellow flag. Coody's down to pit road here and now. Sean Rowe takes the lead. He'll stay out on his own. Race on pit roads now, the most exciting part of the circuit, as the 9 and the 25 take them all down and in. We've got ourselves a race off the circuit indeed. Now Andrew Coody takes him down. It looks like he'll stay up in front of the drivers as pit road is active for the first time tonight. And down and in they'll all go. James Thurston still there on your frame. We'll see whether or not he keeps on racing. He scored now 1 lap down in 16th. The 25 of Michael Cormenis right up behind him. The race off pit road going to be right in front of the number 4. Looks like Jacob Wilkerson beats the man up in front. It's going to be Jay Becker second. Then it's going to be Andrew Coody third, followed by Michael Cormenis. Then going to be Max Molina, Ross Corlett, and not too far behind, Wesley Kutsnov, Greg Kalhoff. That's Henry Kalhoff on the move. Then it's going to be Joey Stone. Not too far behind, Justin Mons. So a big shake-up there. Andrew Coody does stay up in front, but he loses 2 spots on pit road and pit strategy. Much quicker pit stop for Jacob Wilkerson. A 35-second time on pit road. A 7-second stop compared to Andrew Coody's 14-second stop. So definitely a different strategy here. Maybe only one side of the tire. Maybe less fuel. However, it looks like Andrew Coody's taking everything, and he will try to prepare for the long haul once again. And just like that, your driver's up in front getting ready to go back at it. It's Jacob Wilkerson, scored in second. Sean Rowe, your overall leader, but Rowe right now is blinking off the circuit. He's the man right off with your pace car, and he's the only driver right now up front who has not taken him down for his first stop of the night. 15 laps in out of a total of 40. It's the lasting moments 88.8, and Sean Rowe looking to make this stay in the lead. Last to the checkered flag. He's got himself a shot at his first win of the season. Of course, the second race of the year, so looking for a first once again. The number 99, been a pioneer in this league all throughout, and now in its 3rd season, he's looking to become a winner in back-to-back seasons. No driver has done that when it comes to seasons 2 and 3 just yet. Your only winner so far, Daytona, Jacob Wilkerson, a rookie, a brand new driver. He is not the guy you're looking for when it comes to that statistic. Jay Becker might be able to break through as well as a rookie in his own right. Andrew Coody will stay in 4th. Michael Cormenis going to be in 5th. James Thurston now going to be in 17th, 2 laps down, and still on pit road. Brody Tostaika just came back on the track. He's 9 laps down in 27th. We'll see whether or not his intention is to continue racing, or if it is to maybe see if the damage can even be repaired. 25 machine on your frame. He'll continue racing with Sean Rowe, but if he wants to, he'll have to get by a few drivers in between. Sean Rowe had a fantastic battle just before with that number 25, and he just blinked out once again. J.B. Becker is going to be right there. Wilkerson is as well. That's a big problem. Sean Rowe just blinked out once more, and he did blink his way to a win in the clash, so if that happens again, maybe they'll review it tonight. The 99, ever the talented driver, does not want to see a win get stripped from him simply because of a miscommunication of sorts, as we see the iRacing official pace car ready to drop in once again. It's Rowe up in front, and that number 99 machine getting ready to do battle. Andrew Cootie side by side with him. He will get his positions right back up front. It's going to be side by side between the 9 and the number 99. All 9s to make up the front row for your first restart of the night. Let's get right back to it this time through. It is going to be 25 laps to go as Sean Rowe takes him in, this time by first restart of the night here in Sonoma. And let's get on our way, led by a bow tie and a silver oval. And we'll have to see whether or not that problem for Sean Rowe is permanent. He's taken the lead, and he has it right now, but he has continued to blink lap after lap. That's going to be troublesome if he wants to be scored as your winner. It's going to be Jay Becker going for a slide right in front of the field. Becker goes for a big hit. 360s. He'll be out of the way. Joey Stone drives up to 6th on that maneuver, able to avoid it the best, but a lot of drivers do not take that test very well. Becker now fades back to 14th. Big time hit. Wilkerson going to be able to get away. He's in 5th, but Joey Stone now surprisingly finds himself just outside of the top 5. For the number 8, that's exactly how you want to do it. For Jay Becker, absolutely the worst case scenario to lose all that time in just a blink of an eye. And just like that, we've got a new complexion up in front. It is Rowe leading, and Andrew Cootie now in the prime position to win again, just behind 0.6 of a second back. James Thurston has retired from this race. 20th, he is scored in, 3 laps down. Heartbreaker for the man who looked to be dominating this one early, but as it was last season, the number 9 gets a chance to shine after his biggest adversary finds himself in another incident. Unfortunately for Andrew Cootie, he was as well, but he looks to have the better of it, and the Golden State Warrior machine looking to put on a dynasty when it comes to second races of the season. And the number 9 machine right behind Sean Rowe could make that chase happen. He just has to wait and see. Michael Crometis in trouble, spins it, gets back on the way. Nice save. Looks like he's still up in front of Stone, far behind. Joey Stone has made it all the way up into 6th now. He's looking real good for that number 8 operation. And I'll tell you this much, Jack Hammer, knowing you're watching his feed and mine, he has been able to make himself a very good competitor when it comes to cleanly passing drivers and making it through without much incident. A silent maneuver he made to get by those drivers in the Jay Becker incident. Now Ross Corlett gets by him. That's for 7th, but no harm, no foul. He's in the top 10 and looking good to go all the way. 23 laps to go. And a bit early in our race, but we will have our Crank It Up, courtesy of the best camera platform on iRacing. Track cams for gourmets, and with 22 laps to go, let's crank it up in style. Cranking it up with 22 laps left, thanks to, of course, our friends at TrackCams22.com. And as we come down to 20 laps to go, let's get right back to the action. It looks like halfway through, Sean Rowe has himself a good lead. He did blink out during that sequence, unfortunately kind of threw us off our rhythm, but nevertheless, the number 99 is on the peak of his game. Joey Stone going to be in trouble that time by. He'll fall back into 10th for the kick streaming machine. Slowly but surely, he's worked his way up, but finds himself bobbling a few times in recent laps. Now, back down into the top 10. Now, it seems like he's one of the few guys on the lead lap. There's only now a total of 14 still in winning contention. That's how these guys have crumbled. The cookie seems to be crumbling further and further. Sean Rowe leading Andrew Cootie, then a fierce battle there for third as Jay Becker finds himself falling down the ladder. It's suspension trouble. That's going to be major, and that might be fatal to his operation. Jay Becker's got himself some right side damage, and it looks bad. We'll keep you all posted, but I don't think he'll be able to go much longer, at least competitively for the time being. Max Molina has made his way up into third, and I'll tell you this much, Molina's been on a hard charge, but Michael Cormetis undercuts him. Going to be a crossover maneuver. It looks like it won't be, but the bumper almost gets to Mikey. Once again, Sean Rowe down a pit road. He's going to go for a green flag pit stop, and just like that, he's going to be far off the strategic pace. Michael Cormetis now slips and slides as James Thurston goes right by him. That might have shaken him a bit, as we didn't expect it either. Now James Thurston is back racing 7 laps down. He'll try to pick up any extra points in the championship race, and it looks like he's going to be just behind a very competitive bunch. Michael Cormetis now gets right up into second. Max Molina is going to be in third. And Andrew Cootie, how about it, finds himself the leader with 19 laps to go. Andrew Cootie in that number 9, looking to become a back-to-back winner in the second race of the season. And doing it once again at a road course, another showing of his talent. And it seems like even though he took a break from FORL last season, he is still on his A game. In every race that he's competed in so far, he has come up a winner. He won the Daytona duel. He was in duel number 1. In addition, he was the fastest timer on hot lap qualifying. So with that in mind, he won the pole 2 different ways. And then here in Sonoma, he missed Daytona. He finds himself going for a win. More than halfway through, he's up in front, has not fallen out of the top 5, and now he's got only Michael Cormetis to battle with, as Michael Cormetis breaks away from both Jacob Wilkerson and Max Molina. If you've got a favorite driver you'd like to shout out, be sure to let us know live on FTN. I know we got a lot of fans of Joey Stone in the chat. We've seen some James Thurston guys, some Max Molina guys. If you're a fan of any of them, let me know in the chat room. We'd love to hear all the shout outs you've got. Subscribing to FTN gives you unlimited chat access no matter what stream we've got. As Kyle Freeman, your Season 1 champion's in trouble. Freeman fades back and spins the number 29. Now going to be beached on the tarmac. See if he gets back going. It looks like he will, but without fading back even further. 3 laps down as is, and Dustin Pickle now going to be able to get by him. And it looks like the battles outside the lead lap are still going. Big shuffle for Dylan Paas. Paas going to spin. Joseph Lewis barely gets away. Looks like contact between the both of them there. No further incident, and it looks like we'll get back on our way. Andrew Cootie leads the way nevertheless, and looking throughout the field, the closest battle on this track looks to be between Henry Kaloff and Wesley Kutsnov. Wesley is your one of those subs, and I'm gonna say he's not just one of your subs, he might just be the sub of the race. Best performing so far is one man's gonna be the wall big. Not quite sure who just yet. That's gonna be Brandon Rismiller. Rismiller in the number 95 takes a beating through the exit and right into the hairpin. He'll have to keep on driving, and for the GoDaddy number 95 machine, he's in a lot of trouble there. Thankfully able to shake it off just a bit. Maybe he'll keep on racing, but that's going to be even more trouble to deal with. Rismiller's been off pace for the good majority of the night, now scored back in 20th. Not looking good so far for that number 95 as Jay Becker gets right by him. Noah Taylor going to be in trouble down to pit road himself. Dylan Paas gets back on his way, and just like that, we see new drivers up inside your top 10. Joey Stone sees Sean Rowe dive down the inside of him, and just like that, the number 99 resurging gets by the number 8. Quick thinking from Sean Rowe to go dive down the inside line on Joey Stone. Good for Stone to let him by. We'll see whether or not Henry Kaloff gives him the same treatment. The 99, while fast, has to make up 25 seconds in 17 laps. He'll have to be at least a second a lap faster. Maybe it's possible, but these next gens, they don't wear the tires out all too well, and Andrew Cootie is still fast. He only lost about a tenth of a second last time by to Sean Rowe. That's how quick he is still going, despite the age on his Goodyear rubber. Those Eagles are still soaring, and with 16 laps to go, no slowing down. C3PQ got a fan for Jay Becker here. Unfortunate car. Unfortunately, I'd have to agree with you there, but he's been quick, I'll tell you that much. Love to see fans for new drivers. Jay Becker, I love to keep him here in this league, so gotta send some love out to the number 045 camp. Maybe there's more for him as the season goes on. Definitely looked strong tonight, but got caught up in it in early. He still scored 11th. Despite all the trouble, he's just outside the top 10. If someone gets in trouble in front of him, maybe there's an outside chance at the top 10. We've seen races like this happen before in FTN. Damaged driver, but a quick thinker and a good driver can make something happen even with damage. He's still right on the tail of Joey Stone. We've got ourselves a good battle here. Don't give up all hope, C3. I think he'll see through and maybe battle for a top 10. Andrew Cootie down at pit road this time by. It looks like every driver going in for one more. Just like that, we've got ourselves a strategy race. Michael Cormenis takes the lead once again, and now we're going to see whether or not Sean Rowe outcycles the man in the number 9. This could be the most important run on to pit road for any driver. Number 9 mission of Andrew Cootie dives in this time through. He'll hit the brakes, get into his stall, and he's there, down and in. Andrew Cootie going to take his tires, take his fuel. Sean Rowe is only a few seconds back as he comes through. It looks like the 99 will be close, but as it stands, no cigar. Andrew Cootie breaks through, and he will cycle ahead of Sean Rowe by only 2 seconds. Oh my goodness, Rowe is pushing. We've got ourselves a good battle. Stay tuned, sit tight. The 99 and the 9 are the show to beat in this town, Sonoma, California. Tonight, the Wednesday Night Warriors are at it once again. Mikey, though, going to be your leader for now. Maybe he'll try to play the long game out. Maybe that's the way to think about it as Jay Becker grabs the 10th spot. It looks like Jay comes down to pit road in a fierce battle. He'll make his way in and then make his way out. So it's going to be Jay Becker now 10th. Justin Mons is now in 9th. Joey Stone is in 8th. And Henry Kaloff has scored in 7th. Some drivers have come in. Some drivers have not. One more stop is a mandatory for these drivers to make it to the checkered flag, and that's the way it will go. Over 45 miles in this 88.8 mile race, you gotta come in to make it, and now Michael Cormenis and Dustin Pickle go in side by side. They'll both come through and both dive out together. Jacob Wilkerson, new race leader. It's a PBR 1-2. Max Molina not too far behind, sees James Thurston hot on his heels, and Thurston is still fast. Looking to maybe get a fastest lap bonus. He cuts down to the inside line. He's still racing these guys and racing them hard. 45 gets moved around, and the number 4 makes himself known. He is still fighting for everything on this track. New man in that spot. It's Thurston taking it from Molina. And just like that, it looks like only 3 drivers up in front have not cycled down for their final pit stop on the night. Notably, those are Jacob Wilkerson, Michael Cormenis has cycled in, but Max Molina and Ross Corlett have not. Corlett battling right now with Max Molina, showing you what it's going to take to keep it up in front. The number 99 is right in the back end of this battle, but the 91, who's in the heart of it, is still trying to make it work on your defending champion. Molina stays up in front, and that track position could be make or break when cycling in and out of pit road. As they come across this time by, Molina will dive in aggressively. Ross Corlett will not. And it's going to be an undercut for the man in the number 45, but not a deep one. We'll, of course, see Andrew Cootie and Sean Rowe cycle up front as they're only separated by 1 second. Joseph Lewis gets in the way, but not for long. Number 9 now finds himself the leader by only a single second. Ross Corlett actually cycles out very well, and it looks like Corlett's got himself a lead. 28 laps in, Ross Corlett has himself a lead. Cycling out well, but he's still got to make a stop. We'll see how long he will last. And as we go through, it's the number 9 machine of Andrew Cootie there in second. Sean Rowe going to be in third. And Cootie dives deep, gets it by another lap machine, and he'll be able to keep that lead. Jay Becker scored in 10th right now. And Alex Jones, great to have you in chat here. Of course, a different look for the 045, but we would love to see you back in the wheel as well. Hopefully, there's room for the both of you here in this league. It would, of course, be better with both of you behind the wheel. This 045, Jay Becker has been doing some real good job so far. Top 10 bound, he still might be, despite the damage. Looking good. 28 through. Ross Corlett dives in this time by, but not to pit road. He'll stay out on the track. Goes through the hairpin once again. Cootie's chasing. Sean Rowe's right behind. And as we take a look on board with Sean Rowe, that number 99, he's got himself a windshield full of Andrew Cootie. And when you're this close, you just gotta wonder to yourself, what does it take to get there, right behind, on that back bumper, able to make a move for the win? We know Sean Rowe, he is an aggressive driver. He will make that move if push comes to shove. However, he simply does not have the distance yet to make it happen. With 12 laps remaining, Sean Rowe just has to jump up by 15 tenths of a second. He's got to be a tenth of a second faster at least in every lap, and then some. With a dozen remaining, a dozen to do it, Andrew Cootie just has to survive. He survived very well so far. That's one thing about Cootie's game. He might not be the fastest driver in the race, but he certainly is able to keep himself calm under pressure, and that's been his defining drive race after race. The drive to keep yourself cool and collected no matter the circumstance has made Andrew Cootie a different breed of competitor no matter where we race. And a road course, it works out fantastically. Now it looks like Ross Corlett is trying to go very long with it. 11 laps to go. He'll make it so this time by, and he will take him down to the stripe without any sign of coming to pit road. Now we see a different bunch up front. It's going to be Joey Stone scored in 4th. He is running a very long strategy game. Not sure how long it's going to last. Michael Cormetis almost hits him. He runs the brakes very hot and locks him up, trying to avoid. Joey Stone doing it a bit different here in Sonoma, and it's working very well so far, but he will have to eventually cycle down and lose all that position. Estimates are showing he will cycle down to about the 10th position, maybe. We'll see whether or not he stays in the top 10, as Wesley Kusnoff and Jay Becker are both fighting closer and closer time after time for the spot number 10. And Mikey going to cut down to the inside line. That time by on Joey Stone. 1, 2. They'll both make a by. Jacob Wilkerson going to be able to slot in and take the spot. How about a 2 for 1? It's a bit of a discounted pass for Wilkerson, and hopefully Joey Stone is able to discount it and put it behind him and get back on the power. He's got Henry Kaloff looking at him as well, hot on his heels. Joey might have the sign to come down to pit road sometime soon. Dylan Poss almost finds himself in big trouble there, able to put the power down once again. Thankfully, no big struggle to get back on the motion. It could have been a big time incident. Nevertheless, we do see it avoided. Joey Stone coming down this time by is on the power deep, and he will indeed stay on the track that time by. So does Corlett. However, it's now going to be only a car length or two separating himself and the 23, and Cootie dives by ferociously. Look at this, the number 99 right behind. They're both in the same camera frame now, and even on the close-ups you can tell that these two have no distance between each other. 10 laps to go. It's Rowe, it's Cootie, and now they've got to work through another set of lap machines. And can you look at who's up in front? I'll give you a better look. It's Chance Parker right in front of your winning hopeful, the number 42 there in frame, and not too far behind, it is the number 9 of Andrew Cootie. Look at that. The leaders are coming, and they are coming quick. Ross Corlett's still got a grip on it, but he's been on his set for 16 laps. Maybe a bit too long for him to keep going. It looks like it will indeed be another lap of that number 91 on the track. And it's been a story of the 9s up in front. The 91, the 9, and the 99 are your podium right now. It's been an incredible battle between all of these drivers. However, I'm not quite sure about the longevity of this number 91. Gonna have to get my tongue twisted there, but I do think that this Ross Corlett machine is looking for something a bit different to keep him in contention. Maybe a yellow flag is it, but maybe he's saving. I just can't tell what the game plan is. Running out the clock, leading these laps, and Sean Rose on the back bumper now. Look at this. Andrew Coody's got himself a handful. 99 right back there. He will not move at all. Chance Parker might have just faded out of frame. It looks like he did. It's now Coody who has to work through one driver and try to stay in front of the next. He's now in the middle of your 3-car battle for the lead. 9 laps to go to single digit will show you. And the number 91 is in the hot seat. It's Corlett and his teammate, first and second. This could be a team play. I didn't even think of it until now, and I'm not quite sure if it was all too obvious. Andrew Coody, while running a different number, is a teammate in the CCH Motorsport operation. Smoke on the track, no worry. It's going to be Andrew Coody diving deep and getting right by for the lead. Teammates might play a role here, and the number 91 stays up high. Noah Taylor was the man who spun, by the way. We'll take a look at that if we have any time, but as I go side by side, make it 8 laps to go. It is Ross Corlett on the higher side. Andrew Coody driving deep, gets through once again. Now Sean Rowe is going to get rattled up high. They'll be side by side, presumably. Maybe that's the case, or maybe it's not. Sean Rowe has disappeared from our view. Andrew Coody gets what he needs and finds himself a leader by 0.6 of a second, and not too far behind, it was Sean Rowe. We don't see Sean Rowe back yet. It's been 20 seconds. This is bad. I think that might be his race. He's fading further and further back in the conversation. Sean Rowe might have just disconnected. And 8 laps to go. The biggest rival that Sean Rowe was to Andrew Coody, well, was visible. And now he is not. Sean Rowe, from second on the board, has disconnected from this race, and that is his night. Unfortunate as ever. A contender with a hard charge up front sees his race go to smithereens. It's Coody now leading from his teammate. It's CCH Motorsports first, second, and third. No, it's going to be Michael Cormetis, the independent driver, in third right now, and Corlett now remains way out in front of his contemporaries. Andrew Coody finds himself now the leader by a wider margin, even more than what we saw before. A second gap to number 91 and still gaining. Coody now has to cruise for just 7 more laps. He has a 20-second edge over Michael Cormetis. It's panned out pretty well for that number 9 machine. The rest of this battle is not over. Joey Stone remains at the top 5 here, and it looks like for the number 8, this is a great way to come through in a road course. It's been a hard-fought battle, and it looks like it is not over. Sean Rowe had to go. Unfortunate, Bryson. You said it real simple there. Sean Rowe's done. Game crashed. An unfortunate case indeed for a driver competing so well at the front of the field. Rowe going to be scored outside the top 15 presumably, and he might be scored outside the top 20. 7 laps to go, and we see a new man up in front. It's Joey Stone in 5th, Jacob Wilkerson there in 4th, and then Michael Cormetis there in 3rd. And right now, Michael Cormetis slowly but surely piloting his number 25 to a calm and collected top 3. A podium yet again at a road course for Michael Cormetis in the FORL Cup Series. It's a mouthful, but it's a true one, and it looks like he is set to do so once more. Justin Maughn's going to be in trouble down a pit road. No, he's out nowhere. He's going to be all the way on the mounds, and it looks like he is off the circuit by a long shot. The 49's in trouble, and the Magoni setup shot machine is not set up back on the track yet. Now he is, but he's going to lose a lot of time, and he's now 10th and last on your lead lap. James Thurston chasing him down slowly but surely. It's going to become a reality for the number 9, though. 6 laps left. His teammate right behind for CCH Motorsports. This could be a big win, but we see someone slide. It's Ross Corlett. Ross Corlett from second spins, but he's good to go. It looks like he's going to cheat death and stay up in front. Instant replay on the matter, and it looks like your second place driver goes around. Let's take a look at what just happened. The number 91 for Ross Corlett caught on the curb and the tire barrier and only slightly taps that rear end. That is luck. I'll tell you that much. Ross Corlett gets very lucky that time by to be able to keep on going. He is still 11 seconds ahead of Michael Cormetis, but it's looking a bit worse that time by. The number 91 out of sorts, but still competing with a total of 6 laps to go. Let's make it 5. And Andrew Cootie has worked himself a perfect 36-lap run to this point. Free of mistakes, very well on the strategy. His teammate Dustin Pickle lets him by, does a bit of dirt tracking right there, but able to get it back on his way. Andrew Cootie's got himself a 20-second lead over his nearest non-teammate competitor, and he's got now 10 seconds up on Ross Corlett. If one man falls, the other shall win. It is survival of the fittest up in front for these drivers as Michael Cormetis hangs tough there in third. Jacob Wilkerson's going to be in fourth, and Max Molina now sees a big battle here for the top 5 spot. He gets by Joey Stone, but it still is only 0.6 of a second. Stone going to have to kick it into the final gear if he wants to make something happen. Maybe it's going to be all or nothing, or maybe he'll settle for a top 10 finish. At this rate, with so much time gone through this race, you don't want to give up what you got. A top 10 is all but guaranteed for the Joey Stone machine. A top 5 would be that cherry on top in his first road course race in this league. Veterans up in front of him. He is only the second rookie in this top 10, only behind your defending winner in Jacob Wilkerson. That's good company to be in, that's for certain. Andrew Cootie, lap 37 to take him down with 4 laps to go, has it up in front in Southern California. How about the closest battle on the racing circuit? Let's take a look all the way back to position number 6. Max Molina going to be fighting with Joey Stone here. They're still the closest. Nobody else on their level right now. Distance has become a bit of a more regular commodity here in the FORL Cup Series. These drivers on their own different paces see a lot more spread out driving as the night has gone on. Only one yellow flag has led to a lot of individual pace. You don't see other drivers having to rely on the yellow flags to bunch back up. This is, I believe, the lowest amount of yellow flags we've seen in a FORL Cup Series race at a road course, and it does actually tie the mark at Daytona. So we've only had 2 cautions this season, as Dustin Pickle going to be in trouble once again. That number 21 all over the place, but back on the way once more. The drivers in the front of the field catching up to lap traffic one more time. At this rate, they've just got to keep on going. Dylan Post, the next man up for Andrew Cootie, and as he comes around this time by, just going to get to the outside of that number 12. The Dodge Mopar racing him a bit more aggressive than most, but he'll let him by eventually. Now Cootie's got himself 3 laps to go through and make it to the end. Justin Mons in trouble once more. He's out of frame once again, and Mons looks to just about park it. He is still stuck there, no movement, but the 49 now gets back on his way. 1 lap down, he's still scored in 10th, and still 36 seconds ahead of Noah Taylor. So good to keep himself in that spot regardless of any further incidents. Andrew Cootie might have lapped him, but he has not lost any positions based on that minor mishap. And now as we go through the final few laps of this race, Andrew Cootie's got himself another good run to look back on. And the Daytona duels, if they were any indication, he'd be a winner again. He's followed through on his promises and made himself a checkered flag contender all the same. Justin Mons appears to retire for the night. That's going to promote Noah Taylor to the top 10 and put now the Joseph Lewis machine in 11th. Andrew Cootie makes himself another lap, and he'll make it through to 2 laps to go this time around. How about it for the number 9? 2 more remaining in Sonoma, California as he comes through. It's been a dream of a race for the California Dreamer, Golden State Warrior on the hood, and he is trying to make it happen here yet again in Season 3. Jacob Wilkerson in trouble that time by. He's slow. He'll let Joey Stone go by, and the number 43 finds himself far off the pace. Instant replay. Let's find out what happened as Jacob Wilkerson, your defending winner, finds himself in what could be his first wreck in his tenure in this league. A spin off the edge of the curb, and he gets it back going. Nice recollection right up to the close-up shot. He'll be good to go once again. Jacob Wilkerson, he was in trouble, thankfully able to collect it, and he's now battling for a top 5 position with Joey Stone. Stone looking to get his first top 5 in his career, and it's 2 rookies looking to be the best of the best for the brand new drivers. Wilkerson dives in deep once again. Joey Stone lets him by, and it looks like he's going to try to play it the more calm route, and the number 43 back on the move. 1 lap to go as he comes around this time by. It's Andrew Cootie, the number 9 machine, making it through for another lap, and this is the 40th and the final lap here in the lasting moments, 88.8, and Andrew Cootie leads him through. And Joseph Lewis almost gets in his way. That was a very close call. Thankfully, nothing more comes of it. Joey Stone lets Jacob Wilkerson go back up in front of him. There could be a battle here between these 2 drivers as they come around. Once again, Wilkerson right there takes it through a bit quicker, so maybe the number 8 is going to let him by. Nice, respectful driving for Wilkerson to get through on Joey Stone. These 2 rookies are going to be those you got to keep an eye out for. 5th and 6th in their second career races. Not bad at all for Stone and the leading Wilkerson, the leader of the 2 in this battle. Andrew Cootie going through the S's one final time, has had himself a night, returning to the FORL Cup Series as a full-time driver. Last time we saw him racing full-time, he came home with 2 wins. He's second in points already and coming around for his first win of the season. It's been the twists and turns of a lifetime, 40 laps of hard-fought action, and as we prepare to go to Tornado Alley next week, Andrew Cootie storms through the field, and as he comes down to the checkered flag, he will be the winner of the lasting moments, 88.8. Andrew Cootie comes home victorious here in Sonoma, California, and his teammate in Ross Corlett, not too far behind, makes it a CCH Motorsport 1-2. It's a dream for the team as they come home top 2 spots on the podium. Michael Cormes rounds at your top 3 and finds himself on the wrecker not too far thereafter. Andrew Cootie wins in Sonoma, and what a way to do it. As the number 9 comes around to celebrate this one, let's get your race results before he does so. He's going to have a long victory lap here in Sonoma as Andrew Cootie wins by 10 seconds over teammate Ross Corlett there in second. Michael Cormetis going to be in third with Max Molina position number 4, and Jacob Wilkerson wins the Battle of the Rookies once again. He comes home 5th, and Joey Stone, your hard charger, drives from 26th up to 6th. Phenomenal drive there as Henry Kaloff puts together a great unexpected run. Kaloff comes home in 7th. Jay Becker, the substitute, comes home in 8th, and Wesley Kunoff comes home in 9th on debut. Noah Taylor rounds the top 10 one lap down with Joseph Lewis in 11th and Dylan Post in 12th. Then going to be Sean Rowe 13th, Justin Mons 14th, Dustin Pickle 15th, and Xander Prestige 16th with Chance Parker position number 17. Connor Zola going to be there in 18th, and then going to be James Thurston 19th with Robert Lapierre in position number 20. From there on out, going to be Kyle Freeman in 21st, Brandon Rismiller 22nd, Michael Deitch 23rd, Michael Gregory 24th, Anthony Trippi 25th. James Bomar finishes 26th with Brody Tolstaika 27th. Joe Reinhardt comes home 28th, and Hunter Bogdan rounds out your field 35 laps down in 29th. How about the scene? Andrew Cootie side by side with teammate Ross Corlett on a victory lap to remember. Class 68 Productions, thank you for stopping by. Great to have you here. What a race indeed, as Andrew Cootie getting ready to burn it down once again. It's got to be surreal for the man who comes back to the FORL Cup Series in such a dominating fashion. He's back. Andrew Cootie is. That's for certain. And as the number 9 waits to burn this one down, it looks like he is still waiting to do it. And here we go. The number 9 gets ready to put the celebration together as he backs it up to the wall. And coming through the final corners once again, down to the hairpin, Andrew Cootie leading Joey Stone and the number 23 right behind him. You see Dylan Poss gonna keep burning it out. The celebration is on here in Sonoma, and we still haven't seen our winner burn it down, and that's what we're all waiting for. Andrew Cootie wiggles it once again, gives us the sign. Now it's time to celebrate for this number 9. As Cootie comes down and around once again, still not ready to put on the show, but he's going to take the checkered flag all over again. I think it's time to get the party on in Southern California. And Andrew Cootie working his way back down to pit road. Stay tuned. We will have your top 3 interviews momentarily. And Andrew Cootie still not ready to come down and in. Nevertheless, we'll be back with our top 3 interviews momentarily, as it looks like Cootie's now going to come down to pit road very soon. Got to thank y'all for watching so far. We are not done yet. We will return with your podium ready for an interview, as we have a brief message courtesy of the drivers, of course, on your top 3. First, let's get our brief message from iRacing itself. We'll be right back. Thank y'all for stopping by. Stay tuned for your podium interview and any final thoughts from all our drivers.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And as we return live on FTN, your drivers are indeed ready for an interview, so let's get them in order. Andrew Cootie, the first man on the order, comes home a winner. You have been flawless so far in your runs. You win your duel. First off, you're the fastest man in Daytona qualifying. You come into the night second in points, and what do? You rattle off yet another win. Second race of the season. You've won it 2 seasons in a row. How do you feel after this one?
Awesome. This was perfect. I feel bad for Sean because he blinked out with like 7 or 8 to go. I felt bad, and I feel bad because he probably would have either booted me out the way or passed me or something. But yeah, that was awesome. Me and Ross finishing 1-2 for CCH. That was awesome. I had to pass him. We were talking, and he was gonna. He said he was gonna race me, and I was like, I was trying to bring up Timor. I was like, I'm catching you so fast. Let me by, and then just hold up Sean, and we didn't do that, obviously. But once I passed Sean, or once I passed Ross, I kind of was in the clear as long as something happened to Sean. I had a feeling Sean would throughput because he was blinking pretty good. But yeah, I'm just happy for another win and. Leaving Sonoma the points leader again. This is deja vu from last year. So yeah, but I'm sad that I wasn't able to race last week or 2 weeks ago for Daytona, but I'm glad that I handed the car over to Jackson. I know he had a really late move that kind of ruined it, but all in all, he was up there. But I'm glad that he was able to at least bring home good enough points to sit second. And then I knew I would have a shot going into Sonoma because I'm really good here, and as long as I wasn't making any mistakes and I was consistent, I was going to be up here. So that's all that mattered. I'm glad that I was able to do it, and I'm driving the Warriors car this week. So I made a bunch of different kinds of schemes, a bunch of different sports teams that I'm a fan of, and you'll see a bunch of different ones this year, including at Richmond, where I'll be driving a video game scheme based off of Tetris. It looks awesome. But next week at Phoenix or Kansas, I'll be driving the regular Napa car. So, if you want to put your screen to new or to live, I'm gonna do the jump, like a celebratory jump into on turn one. So. I'm happy that we were able to get second, and Ross will be in here in a second, and he'll be happy for both of us. So we'll go on to Kansas, and yes, Tetris was Bryce's idea. That was very much Bryce's idea. So we're gonna go on to Kansas with the points lead, and it's a good track of mine. We got a few good tracks coming up: Kansas, Phoenix, New Hampshire, including Gateway. So. But I will be doing the jump as you say goodbye.
And I gotta, you really told us everything here. I've only got one question I've gotta hold on to because I mentioned it all throughout the broadcast and you exemplified it 100%. Raw speed does not always win this race. We saw drivers running right with you all throughout, but you were still able to build that gap, and that's what got you this win. And I'll have to say it once again for all the viewers, that's exactly how it seems to be done in these road course races. So for you in the driver's seat, what was it like maintaining that patience that kept you up front?
Well, it was really just not wrecking the car and not overdriving the corners. I knew a lot. I knew 10 and 7 where the choose cone was. I know those were really good corners for me because I could back the corner up and get a straighter exit, and I would be able to have better speed. So and then 10 as well. I was really good through the hairpin, 10, the hairpin, and off of 1. But it was it's really about consistency here. It really is, because if you don't have consistency, then you're not going to do very well. I mean, I was pretty consistent, but I was just making sure that I wasn't wrecking the car, and that was really what mattered. So.
And keeping that number 9 machine clean is all that matters at the end of the day. Andrew Cootie comes home a winner again, this time in Sonoma for Lasting Moments 88.8. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just thanks to Ross and Bryce and everyone at CCH for bringing us some fast cars. But and thanks to my wife, fiance, soon-to-be wife, for always being there. And that was very much violent, correct? That was very violent. So just thank you to everyone. And if you guys want to watch the live POV for me, and I believe Ross streams it too, on my kick.com/Andrew Cootie, and Ross's Twitch, twitch.tv/Ross_Corlett, I think. So, yeah.
And there we have it. The teammates come up in front. It's Andrew Cootie who scores the win, however. The number 9 up in front. There we've got it. The Lasting Moments 88.8 goes to the number 9. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, woo, 1-2 finish for CCH. Thanks, greats.
And there we have it. Cootie's going to be on his way, and the CCH Motorsports machines are on top. This one's got to be a dream for the team indeed. Ross Corlett, second position. The team sweeps the top 2 spots. How do you feel after this one?
Oh, my goodness. First off, I cannot believe we finished 1-2. I did not even think for a second I would finish top 2 or top 3, given how fast everybody was. But first off, shout out to Andrew Cootie. I'm proud of him. I hate that he passed me late, but thinking big picture, I was like, we gotta make this happen. Like, this would be a huge moment for our team. But Yeah, I kind of made an ass myself, spun it off turn 2 or 3, first lap, and got a little frustrated, but kind of bided my time, waited to get back to the front, and that caution definitely helped me for sure. Just pitting in, and actually that was the one time I stopped, and I was borderline on fuel. If you didn't see it, I ran out of gas on the last, on the cooldown lap, and I was trying to get everybody to push me. But yeah, what a moment for Corlett or Cootie Corlett Hamrick Motorsports. Just such a big deal for us. I'm really excited. But yeah, this is a big confidence booster for me, saying I'm not the best road course racer, but I definitely feel like I made a lot of improvements from a couple weeks ago in NAS. So pretty overall, just a great day. I'm just pumped, man, pumped.
The team takes a big step up in front. This has got to be one of the marquee races for this entire team. But as an individual, you made it happen, biding your time as you mentioned, and that seemed to be the big thing when it came to keeping a driver up front. Some drivers, you said, had a lot of pace as well, but you navigated through them. What was the big thing with your tire strategy, your fuel strategy, very risky one, to keep you in that winning contention?
Well, I don't know if it was even risky. I mean, I guess I took just enough fuel, and I guess some other guys didn't. I'm not too sure what happened there. But, tires-wise, I don't feel like tires fall off really bad. Just late in the run, I did struggle a good bit. And I did hit the wall pretty bad and knocked the wall down going from 4A to turn 7, but, I was able to recover. But it wasn't awful. It was mainly just about taking care of the rear tires and not spinning them as much. Like, even if you have to short shift. But again, the tires didn't mean too much. It was really going to come down to who had the pace and who could just consistently rip off lap after lap after lap and just not limit the amount of mistakes. And I just feel like at the end, I started slipping a good bit and just made too many mistakes to let Cootie pull away. And I was hoping to race Sean, like he ended up throughputting, unfortunately. That was going to be a fun-ass battle, for sure.
And a hard-fought battle. We saw it, 3 guys going for the lead, and you were one of them all throughout. Now, the number 91 machine comes home in second. Ross Corlett right there for the taking. Second tonight here at Sonoma. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Well, shout out to Andrew Cootie and everybody, all the Cootie family, and big shout out to my sponsor, my actual summer league swim team, the James Allen Stingrays. Shout out to all the coaches, Andrew Scarvana, Cheney Crow, Jackie Rutan. I know y'all aren't watching this, but I'll definitely get to show y'all this tomorrow morning at morning practice. So glad to represent our Stingrays tonight.
And there we have it, representing them well. Second place here for Ross Corlett in the lasting moments, 88.8. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And it's going to be Corlett on the way. How about your final man on the podium? The number 25 of Michael Cormetis had to battle all throughout. The first guy that we've talked to that's not part of the CCH Motorsport crew. Third place for the man in the 25 machine. How do you feel after this one?
I feel very accomplished about this result. Tough race. I feel like I could have maybe fought Cootie a little bit there, but just kept making some mistakes that kind of set me behind a little bit. Feel bad for Sean Rowe. He had that third place locked up before he lagged out. So first race as a full-time driver in FORL, third place. I will definitely take that and hope to build some more points later on in the season.
And the 25 ran very well all throughout the night, now running full time, so taking these points is a big deal. We saw some leaders get caught up in trouble. What was your big key to sort of avoiding the trouble and eventually finding yourself in the podium?
I actually had a lot of close calls with lap cars. I think I wrecked a few too, just because caught them in a bad spot and either misjudged it or they came across my nose and wrecked themselves. So lap traffic really was the difference, and yeah, it really was the difference for me and the leaders. As you saw, Thurston was dominating. Then he got wrecked by Chance Parker and Michael Gregory. So It was it definitely threw a wrench into the race, but I'm happy I was able to at least avoid most of the trouble. And with the strategy I took 2 tires to get ahead of Wilkerson and Molina and then Sean lags out, and then here I am, 3rd place.
And there we have it, 3rd place, but a big thing that I want to mention to end this one off, unlike the drivers ahead of you, where Andrew Cootie had a substitute and Ross Corlett did actually race Daytona, this is indeed your first race of the year. What's it going to take to battle back in the playoff picture? Of course, the season's young, but you're still at a bit of a deficit. A race like this certainly might ease the pain.
Gotta keep my head cool and make sure I don't get caught up in any wrecks in the races. I feel like that's the one thing that's gonna be the difference maker for me is staying out of trouble and just keeping a cool head and getting good results. So, gonna have to keep an eye on that and improve as I go, because I'll definitely be learning a lot with the new environment that I'm around in this field. So, I'm eager to see how the season's gonna go for me.
And there we have it. Michael Cormetis starts his season on a high note. 2nd place it could have been, but it was a 3rd place at the end of the day, fighting hard. Top spots in the qualifying and the race as well. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Just as always, like to thank my parents for giving me this for giving me the opportunity to be here right now. And that's basically it.
And there we have it. Michael Cormetis rounds out your podium here in the lasting moments. 88.8, a 3rd position run. Hard fought all throughout for the number 25 Coca-Cola machine. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, too.
And there we have it. Michael Cormetis going to be on his way. The final man on your podium as Andrew Cootie comes home with his first win of the season. How's about that for the man in the number 9 machine? Been looking for a way to win, and tonight he got just that. We got to thank all our viewers once again for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday night with a race at Kansas Speedway. Tornado Alley will strike back on FTN. Keep an eye out for that one. It's sure to be yet another exciting race. Next stream we intend to have on this channel, it's going to be Saturday night. The SCRL Fisher Studios Truck Series will see their season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. Watch out. It's going to be a very exciting one as well. From the studios here at FTN, I've been your host for tonight's broadcast. Great to have you aboard once more. David Troix, I've been with you all throughout, and we hope to see you once again on Wednesday nights and whenever we're broadcasting once again on FTN. Thank you dearly for your support, and we will be back whenever the racing is on the FORL Cup Series and any other broadcast. We would love to have you in the audience. Thank you once more, and we hope to see you again on FTN.